Have you ever found yourself falling for a man and then later thinking, what the hell was I thinking? Well, first of all, you're not alone. And second of all, it's because there are 3 ways that your mind is tricking you into believing that this man is actually good for you. It's tricking you into attracting the wrong types of relationships. It's tricking you into obsessing over someone who's just ultimately not right for you. And let me tell you, one of the biggest regrets that I hear from women that I speak to every single day is that they regret spending so much time with a man that ultimately ended up wasting their time. It's not just your time, but it's years and years of your life. And honestly, I don't want that to happen to you. Even if it's already happened, or maybe it's happening right now, I want you to learn from this so it can never happen again. We don't have time to keep making the same mistakes. So if you're ready to nip that in the bud, then stick around because it's all coming up right now. Hi, welcome back to the Vibration Vault. My name is Alia Zare. I help women all over the world navigate their love life in a more feminine way. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, make sure to subscribe to stick around. Okay, let's begin. The first mind trap that keeps you hooked on the wrong man is called anchoring. Let me give you an example. Let's say you go on a first date with this man. He's gorgeous. He's so handsome. He's so amazing. And all of a sudden, after the date, you find yourself putting him on a pedestal. You're obsessing over him. You're making a collage image of you and him together. You're telling all of your girlfriends that this is your new husband and that you're going to get married to him. This is exactly what is called anchoring. It's a mental bias where his first impression shapes everything to follow. It's exactly as it sounds. You're attaching an anchor to one moment or one trait in this man and letting it influence all of your future interactions with him. It's almost like watching an amazing movie trailer. You know, when you see the preview and you're like, absolutely, yes, I have to watch it. And you sit there and you're watching the movie and the movie is rubbish, but you continue to watch it all the way until the end, only to realize that all of the best bits in the movie were just all of the bits that were already in the preview. That initial impression clouds your judgment, even when the rest just doesn't live up to it. Maybe he sends you an Uber, maybe he sends you a car, maybe he comes to pick you up, maybe he buys you flowers, maybe he treats you really special for a week. And now you're thinking, hold on, wait a minute, he's done all of these nice things for me. He must be thoughtful. He must be amazing. He must be my future husband. But hold on a minute. Don't idealize him until you've made sure that he is a complete match for what you are looking for. Not just someone who can make you feel amazing for a week. Is that your standard? No, that's not good enough. Anyone would be able to make you feel amazing for a week. It's someone who aligns with your values, your morals, someone who is consistent. So take a step back and give him some time to reveal his true colors. Maybe those true colors are amazing. They're bright and beautiful and he is your perfect match, but maybe they're not. Maybe he was just putting on a front to get what he wants from you. What I want you to do is watch how he treats you consistently. Watch how he handles different situations. This is why I say to every woman that I come into contact with that you need to be going out of the house with this man. You want to see him in interactions with a waitress. You want to see him in interactions with a janitor, a cleaner, a hotel receptionist, an air hostess. Get out of the house and see him in different situations. See how he responds to missing a flight. See how he responds to his food not being served at the right temperature or just not being served to his standard. And I want you to pay close attention to how he's handling conflict with you. Is he emotionally intelligent? Is he considering how you might feel? Is he helping you navigate your emotions? Is he calm, cool, and collected? And I have said this in a previous episode. Men need to be calm, cool, and collected, because as women, we go through so many different emotional states that sometimes we can't even put into words, and we don't even understand what it means to us ourselves. So a man needs to be calm, cool, collected, and emotionally intelligent to understand you and your emotions and handle conflict with you in a kind way. You need to really wait for that first fight, because the first fight that you guys both have, and that's inevitable, by the way, the first fight is going to reveal his level of maturity. You just need to be monitoring how he reacts when things don't go his way. Also, if a man is solution orientated, that is a man who can lead your family. That is a man who can be there for you. That is a man who is always going to figure out any problem with a solution for you. The next thing is the sunken cost fallacy. Just because you've invested a lot of time into this man doesn't mean that he is the right man. This is what's called the sunken cost fallacy. It tricks your mind into believing that you need to now make this relationship work. And it's simply because you've already invested so much time, all of your emotions, and all of your energy. Maybe you have already introduced him to all of your friends, or maybe you've introduced him to your family, or maybe you've just built a really good routine together, or maybe you guys have both got a business together. Now you're telling yourself, okay, well, I've come this far, I need to just keep going. I'm going to feel so rewarded when we can figure this out together. And although relationships have ups and downs, and it is so rewarding to get through the lows and get into the highs, and that is a beautiful thing, you need to be honest with yourself and actually ask yourself, are you happy? Not is he happy with you, but are you like truly happy with this man? Here's the thing, just because you've invested so much into something doesn't mean it's a good investment. And what many of us tend to do is to double down, especially when things are going not the way that we want it to go in our relationship. We will just put even more energy, even more time, even more patience into this relationship, just hoping for an even bigger return, or even just something, a slither of something. But doing that is just going to deplete your energy. It's going to deplete your feminine energy. Now, let's be real. Let's get serious. Is walking away going to be easy? No. Is it going to be simple and painless? Definitely not. It's like if you were to cut your arm and I was to come over there to you now and clean it with alcohol, you might be like, oh my gosh, please stop that. It's so painful. I don't want to feel pain. But that pain is exactly how you start to heal. I'm going to give you these key questions that's going to help you evaluate your relationship that you're currently in right now. And this is to avoid falling into this mind trap. So ask yourself this: am I staying because I genuinely see a future with this person? Or is it because I've already invested so much time and energy into him? The next thing that I want you to ask yourself is, if I could go back in time and know everything I know about this man, would I still choose to invest into this relationship? And honestly, trust me, the best thing you can do, and this is something a woman in her divine feminine energy would do, is trust me that you don't need that last final conversation with him for closure. You give yourself closure by removing the access he has to you and moving on. Not moving on to another man, but moving on to falling in love with yourself. Who are you? What do you love to do? Not the version of you that existed with him, but the version of you that exists without him. The adult version of you that now exists without him. What do you like to do? Who are you? Who is she? Do you even know who she is? That's such an exciting thing that you get to explore now. Whatever you think that you're going to gain from that last conversation with him. It's actually just your ego desperately wanting and needing that validation. But let's be real, do you really need the guy who hurt you to tell you why he hurt you? Validate yourself and just remember that the person who hurt you cannot heal you. Only you can heal you. So look in the mirror and give yourself that closure. The last trap is projection. Are you the woman who chooses a man for who he is or who he could potentially grow into? The thing is, tomorrow is not guaranteed, and the version of him that you are dating is the version of him that he is today, not the one that you're imagining for tomorrow. Now, I want to say that this isn't a guy that you are building financial generational wealth with. This isn't a man that's on track in the next 2 years to be a multi-millionaire. This isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the bare traits of this man, his values, his morals, how he treats you. Because newsflash, girls, the easiest thing to get in this life is money. Money is the easiest thing to make. So if you're building with a man for a better financial future, but you're already financially in a good place, it just could get better. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the basic values and morals. It's about the qualities in this man. Is he thoughtful? Is he kind? Is he calm? Is he generous? If you are imagining a version of him where, he will fall in love with me even more and he will become calmer, he will become less angry, he won't be so aggressive towards me when things don't go his way. If you're thinking like that, I promise you it's going to get worse. It doesn't get better. So projection happens when you see qualities in a man that are not that. They're made up, they're false, they're in your head. And you do that instead of focusing what's right there in front of you in the present moment. So let me give you an example. Maybe you crave a compassionate partner and somehow you've managed to convince yourself that he is that way, even when the evidence tells you otherwise. Essentially, you're just dating the idea of him, not the real man that's standing in front of you. Projection can make you feel like you're in love with someone that doesn't actually exist. You might make excuses for him like, oh, you know what? He's been through so much. I know deep down he loves me truly. Or you might say things like, he has so much potential. I see it and I don't care if anyone else can't. But potential isn't a guarantee. Love based on hope rather than reality often becomes very disappointing. And it often happens when you're desperately looking for love. You feel empty without it. You are looking to fill a void, and then you find one guy with a few really good qualities and you latch onto it. And obviously he latches onto you too because you're a goddess. You're incredible, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're kind, you have a good heart, you're a good woman. So you try to fit him into being the perfect man, into your mold of the perfect man, instead of just seeing him for who he truly is. Let me give you another example. Let's say in your previous relationships, all of the men that you've been with have been cheaters. They've been disloyal to you. And now all of a sudden you found this one guy and he is obsessed with you. He loves you. He is super loyal. He's very open with his phone, but he doesn't spoil you like a princess. He's not really that thoughtful. He's not really that affectionate. He doesn't really put your needs above his, but you are latching onto this one good quality. Like, at least he doesn't cheat. That, darling, honestly, is the bare minimum. The bare minimum definition of a relationship is that you and that man are exclusively together. So now you are basing this love on the previous stories that you have lived through, the previous pain you have lived through. Now you are saying that your new standard is just a man who doesn't cheat on you, when that's the bare minimum, entry level. But don't you see that over time, you're going to start to crave those other traits that you desperately need to feel loved? So this is going to feel amazing for a year, tops 2. And then your whole world is going to come crashing down around you, and you're going to be desperately starved of all of these other qualities that you know you need to feel loved. There you go. You've just lost a year of your life. You've just lost 2 years of your life. God forbid it's any longer than that. But you're not at the age now where you want to be wasting any time. So a simple way to avoid this trap is to ask yourself this question. If he was dating my best friend, would I honestly tell her that this is the best man she could ever find? Or would I warn her about certain things that maybe she's been ignoring because she's wearing love goggles? Now, when you ask yourself this question, it's going to force you to take an objective look at his qualities and how he actually shows up in this relationship. It helps you avoid being blinded by your hopes and your desires. I know that everything that you and I have discussed today takes some real self-reflection and some ownership that you have to take on your responsibility into falling into these same patterns. But the purpose for this episode today was to really reclaim your power, to raise your standards, to really take a long, hard look at why these same cycles keep repeating themselves. It's not the man that you're attracting. It really is how you are choosing the man and the standards that you have for yourself. And after today's episode, I hope that you really implement those questions and you constantly ask yourself these questions. Is this man truly who I want to be with? A lot of women get caught up in the fact that, oh my gosh, this man loves me. But you fail to ask yourself the question of, hold on a minute, do I even like this guy? Like, is he just the first guy that's showing me all of this love and affection? Do you even fancy him? Do you even like him? Because this is a man that you have to spend forever with. Don't settle to fill a void. So that is a wrap for today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please make sure to leave me a comment, share with me what you would like to see in the next episode. So I'll see you in the next episode. I love you. Mwah. Bye.